As I was talking earlier, first we have Imran Khan from Pakistan. Now Donald Trump from the United States meeting a similar fate. After being indicted for a third time earlier this week, former U.S. President Donald Trump was arraigned in court yesterday. He pled not guilty. Special counsel Jack Smith, who has overseen the federal investigation, looked on from the courtroom's front row as Trump entered his plea. Remember, Trump has been charged on 4 counts. That of including conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction of and even attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. These charges are in connection with the 2020 election interference probe. And speaking on the indictment, Trump said, and I quote, "It was a sad day for America when you look at what's happening. This is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America." That was Trump for you. Now, he has also pled not guilty to the new charges in the classified documents case as well. Let's listen in to Trump's reaction.
A very sad day for America, and it was also very sad driving through Washington, D.C. and seeing the filth and the decay and all of the broken buildings and walls and the graffiti. This is not the place that I left. It's a very sad thing to see it. When you look at what's happening, this is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America. This is the persecution of the person that's leading by very, very substantial numbers in the Republican primary and leading Biden by a lot. So if you can't beat him, you persecute him or you prosecute him. We can't let this happen in America. Thank you.
This is not a coincidence. This is election interference at its finest against the leading candidate right now for president, for either party. President Trump is under siege in a way that we have never seen before. President Trump and his legal team and everyone on his team will continue to fight, not for him, but for the American people.
All right, let's try and get in a sense of perspective in terms of whatever these developments will mean for the upcoming presidential race in the United States. And for that, I'm joined in by Ray Locker, even Amy Tarkanian. First, let me quickly go across to Ray, who's a leading journalist and author in the United States. Ray, going by the NYT Siena poll, Biden and Trump are tied. Is it not shocking that the criminal indictments have not really crippled Donald Trump's general election chances?
No, not really. As a matter of fact, off-year election polls have often showed incumbent presidents trailing their main challengers. You know, look at a similar poll in 1983 showed Walter Mondale, the former vice president, beating Ronald Reagan for re-election, and Reagan ended up winning by 18 points the next year. We saw all through 1971, Edmund Muskie, senator of Maine, leading Richard Nixon in polls, and Nixon won by a huge mandate. So this happens. That doesn't surprise me that much. You would think, though, that with all these revelations and facts released about Trump, that he would be polling down in the low 20s. Unfortunately, American politics aren't like that anymore. So I'm not surprised by the New York Times poll, and somewhat surprised that Trump's not doing worse, but that's the way things are now.
All right. Amy, if I could bring you in on this. Amy is a Republican strategist. I'd like your views, Amy, in terms of what explains Donald Trump's bright chances at the moment. Is it Biden's little strength of his own?
I think it's a combination. I think that we're now seeing an electorate that doesn't want either to be reelected. But unfortunately for Donald Trump, you have soft Democrats, moderate Republicans, and third party people who do not like him at all. So he could win a primary. I don't see him winning a general. And I think he's got quite an uphill battle for the general. But, I think the fact that he does have such strong support still on the Republican side, it's because he's done an excellent job at creating victimhood. And so his famous line, is the one where he says, they're not coming after me, they're coming after you. I'm just standing in the way. So he's rallied up his base. He's stirred the pot of anger and frustration, and he's got a stronghold on them.